Boys, I know you guys don't want to be here. I know you don't care, but it's the FA Cup. It's the FA Cup fourth round. So we are definitely getting into this today. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you listen from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look that looks at the FA Cup this weekend because it's FA Cup weekend. My name is James. I support Arsenal. That's Brad. He supports Chelsea. And down below, that's Sean. He supports Tottenham Hotspurs. Boys, hello. Good evening. What's up?
Yo, what
At,
what are we doing here? I don't understand. I was just told to be here or I'd be fined.
at, at, at least for the time being, we're all in the FA
Yeah,
Cup,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Right, Brad. Right, Brad.
What's the FA Cup? Like I said, I'm here so I won't be fined.
Hey, Brad. Notice I said for the time being, huh?
Yeah, Sean's
Yeah.
real worried about that tie against Preston North End. Brad, if you have any questions about what the FA Cup is, you can check in with Joel. Joel will have answers. He can fill you in on what the FA Cup is. Newcastle, he's got all the information for you.
I really thought you were gonna go. If you have any questions about the FA Cup, you could go check out
Oh,
Arsenal's trophy cabinet.
I should have. That would have been good.
Yeah, and you could see FA trophy cups going back for millennia.
That's true.
Oh,
Maybe
Wow, you really missed a good joke
going
there.
back into other millennia, perhaps. I don't know. I'm sure Chelsea can claim that
Well,
as well.
this millennia and
And the
yeah.
last.
yeah, blind squirrels find nuts twice a day or whatever the saying is.
Broken clock, right? Twice a day.
Just right twice
I
a day.
guess.
Man,
Bro-
the Tottenham
bro-
bottle job is coming
glass-
by any
bro-
means
bro-
here.
broken
What if you guys could tell a joke?
broken squirrels find a nut twice a day.
Glass frogs. All right. Anyway, before we get any more off the rails, and you have already tuned out, if you're new here and you're miraculously still listening to this is a football podcast. We will talk about some footy here in a second. But if you could hit that subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell. If you are on YouTube, if you're on one of the podcast sites, hit it with a follow. Rate it 5 stars if your platform so allows, and share it with a friend. Tell us who you support in the YouTube comments and which matches you'll be watching this weekend. But as I alluded to earlier, yes, it's the FA Cup fourth round. And the Premier League clubs this is the second round that most of them, some number of them will be in it. So what we got here, I will pull this up over here real quick for you. We got here on the screen. If you're on YouTube, you can see we got a list here of all of the matches this weekend. If you're not on YouTube, we'll quickly run through them for you. But kicking off the weekend on Friday, we've got Manchester City versus Arsenal. From the Etihad, it's the number 2 team in England hosting the number 1 team in England. Probably not what the FA Cup wanted to happen in the fourth round, but it's what everybody gets. Then we've got Walsall and Leicester City on Saturday. Accrington Stanley and Leeds United on Saturday. We got Sheffield Wednesday and Fleetwood on Saturday. Blackburn Rovers play Birmingham. Southampton host Blackpool. Ipswich Town host Burnley. Bristol City host West Brom. Luton Town host Grimsby Town. Fulham host Sunderland. Preston North End will see the Tottenham Hotspurs on Saturday. Manchester United and Reading round out the Saturday slate of games. On Sunday, kicking it off, we got Brighton and Hove Albion hosting Liverpool. Stoke City is hosting Stevenage. Wrexham will welcome Sheffield United. And then on Monday, we've got Derby County and West Ham. That's what's coming up in the FA Cup.
I'm sorry, I fell asleep. What were you talking about?
We're talking about Preston North End. Sean, that's what we're talking about.
Preston North End. Well, as far as the game goes, got nothing to say. We should be the championship team. However, I did do my research, and boy howdy, should you guys look into the championship. Because if you guys recall, back from the fall, and I did not mean to rhyme there. If you recall this, I was marveling at Preston North End. For many weeks in a row, at their ability to stop people from scoring, but also their inability to score. It was absolutely remarkable. they had something like they were around 10th with drawing every game 0-0. It was absolutely incredible. It was absolutely incredible. And it's still going. So they have started to concede some goals at a clip that I don't think is sustainable. However, they have only conceded less or conceded more goals than only 7 of the 24.
Oh,
They still have a remarkable defense as the championship goes. Interestingly enough, they have only scored more than 2 teams in the championship. So this is still hilarious, and I'm still intrigued by this. So they sit 11th still on 40 points out of 28 games, and they have only scored more than the. This is ridiculous. The 21st and the 22nd place teams out of 24. But speaking of which, guys, let's bring it back a little bit. If you haven't looked at the championship table, you should. It is a marvel.
Chaos.
It is just chaos all over the place. First of all, snooze fest. We're going to have Burnley and Sheffield back next year with possibly Watford and Norwich, and nobody was happy about any of
okay.
this. Nobody liked
So
this.
it looks.
Hold on. Are you looking at this? Because this is chaos.
Yeah. So it looks like 3 through 6 make it to the playoff. I thought more made it into the playoff, but
no.
The top
it's
two
3
are
through
through.
6.
Top two are through.
yeah,
3 through 6.
And the difference between 6th place.
actually 5th place. 5th place has 42. 6th place has 42, and then
I know the difference between 6th place
just like do 10.
and 13th place is 6 points.
Yeah, or like if you take it.
Oh, sorry, 4 points.
Yeah, if you take it, take it another step further, like the 19th place team is only 10 points off of the playoff.
And that.
Gonna
That's
do
the
a Chelsea
difference.
here, huh? Sneak in.
Yeah, that's the difference between what 10 or that's the difference between 10 and 4 in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So okay, let's just take a minute here, since we're generally at.
It's a lot to unpack.
Well,
when you start diving into this championship table, it is.
This
ridiculous.
is going to be the most superficial dive in that we could.
Oh
provide.
yeah, we're not diving.
But
I don't know the inner workings of Luton Town. I'm just gonna.
What I was going to say is, you guys, if we were to concede that Burnley are certainly going to win the championship, they are on 62 points, which is 5 more than Sheffield United and 18 more than 3rd place Watford. So it seems very unlikely, having played 28 games, that they're going to fall out. Let's concede Sheffield and Burnley through, either 1-2, give or take. Who do you guys, out of like 3 through 13th, let's just say, because you said 6th to 13th is 4 points.
4 points. Yeah.
Who would you guys like to see in the win the promotion playoff?
I gotta ride my boys Preston North.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I gotta ride them. I've been harping on them since September.
Well, the problem is they're gonna have to win some games in order to pick.
They're gonna have to score some goals.
Yeah, they can't 0-0 draw their way to the to the
can.
playoffs.
That's 42 points, buddy. They're already on track for more than that.
Okay, so we got one.
They've got 11 wins.
I wouldn't mind seeing Preston North End up next year. Brad, who do you have?
Sunderland.
You want Sunderland only to piss off Joel?
Yes.
Okay.
No,
I want some Newcastle Sunderland games happening next season.
I'm going back. My actual hope actually is the 4th place team. I want Blackburn back up.
I think all 3 of us are for Blackburn.
Okay, so we'll pick somebody other than all right.
Yeah.
Other than Blackburn, because everybody would like to see Blackburn back up in the Premier League.
I think we all agree on Blackburn.
So, other than Blackburn, I'm going Preston.
Okay. I think I would probably take someone like a Middlesbrough over a Watford, over a Norwich, over a Millwall, over a West Brom. I mean, Preston North End would be fine. Luton Town would be fine. I'd like to see some new faces, or faces that we haven't seen recently.
So
If you don't mind if I segue into the trivia.
Oh, sure.
Into,
Oh,
uh,
you have trivia?
so in pre-production, just funny listeners, a funny for the listeners, and Joel will find this most amusing. Pre-production, we all wondered where Millwall was,
we did have a question.
and there was a venture a guess. It sounds like it's in the Midlands, I said. As we look it up, it is surely in London.
We'll
Speaking
we'll
of
get back
which,
into that.
we got
Speaking of
We'll get into
which,
that.
I will
Well-
segue to our next trivia question.
are we doing trivia
Why not?
now? I can do the
Hell
trivia
yeah.
now.
Let's
Let's
do it.
do
Lay
it.
it on us.
All right,
I
so
just wanted to
guys-
segue. I was
all right,
segueing right
so
to it. So we've already got one.
From the Premier League to League One, there are 12 clubs in London. How many can you name?
To 12.
Yeah, there's 12. How many can you guys get? You guys can do this together. I'll give you Millwall, so you got 11 more to do.
We need some paper.
Yeah, because we're all not sitting at computers
And
that have a free.
it's just
Software out there.
easier. Just easier.
This is very interesting. I found some things out. There's a club. MK Dons used to be in London. That's dope, but they do not count in this list, by the way. They are not part of this list.
Getting all the Premier League teams out
Yeah,
of the
gotta
way.
type all them down.
There's 6
Oh.
of those.
See who you forget. I'm just
Chelsea.
No,
Chel-
I got all
Yeah.
6.
Forgetting Chelsea.
So
Now the question is, can I remember like who's in what division? That's the issue. Is like
I already got
I
10.
have
You
a
have
hint, but I don't
10?
want to give it away.
I have 10.
who am I forgetting? That's what I don't know. Like, you told me not to think about it earlier, so I didn't think about it earlier. Maybe you kept thinking about it.
He did. He 100% did. That's why he wanted to do the trivia now before it left his brain.
All right, well let's name the easy ones, shall we?
Let's go.
Arsenal.
All right, I got it. Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, Fulham, West Ham, Palace, Brentford.
Oh,
There's actually 7 in the Premier League.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting for you to say 7.
you guys want to know who I forgot?
Brentford.
Fulham and Brentford.
Ah. All right, we got 4 more to go.
Okay,
sir.
who he doesn't have. I have Millwall, obviously, because you gave it to us, and
Yep.
then Wigan. Wigan's a London team.
Is not.
I did forget
How-
Wigan.
Their training base is directly next to Arsenal.
I know.
We share a training. we share a training facility.
So I actually had
It
11.
is in Wigan, sir.
I actually
not in
had
London.
11.
I'm getting it up on there. Hold on.
I had Wigan.
Checking the map.
I think I have all
Bro,
12.
Am I
Wigan Athletic Stadium is in
no?
Manchester.
Which team am I thinking about? I'm not thinking about Wigan then. What team just got relegated from the Premier
Anyways.
League? Watford. I was thinking about Watford. Sorry, I was
Wow.
thinking Watford. I was thinking
Wow.
Watford.
Oh, you got Watford
Is
there.
Watford technically in the city limits?
Watford is in
Watford is. That's who I'm thinking about.
Okay.
Everyone will contextually understand that I was thinking about Watford when I was talking about Arsenal sharing a training
No, they won't.
facility with them. I'm just gonna look.
Vicarage Road is in
It is as DC people would say. I'm looking at a map.
DMV.
Watford is within the Beltway.
Yes.
There is a big.
Alright.
The M25 goes a circle around London. It is within that.
We have 3 more, and
All right,
one in the championship and
so-
2 in League One.
So I have 2.
Okay, who?
I have QPR and Charlton.
Yep.
Ooh, I didn't think you'd get Charlton Athletic.
I guess we
Wow.
should.
Yeah, that's where they did that charity YouTuber.
Oh, that's
Game
right.
at.
Yeah, a couple months ago. The
Wow.
the Sidemen
Yeah.
thing.
All right.
Yeah, Sidemen versus Speed and
And Goldbridge.
Speed. Goldbridge.
Goldbridge
Yeah.
was the manager.
Yeah, wearing that suit on the
Good
sideline.
for him, man.
I-
Brad,
And then my last
Do we-
guess is Rotherham.
do we have any
Nope.
chance at getting the last one, Brad?
Oh,
I think
Have they
so.
been in the prep?
It is a famous place.
It's a
Dagenham Redbridge.
They have not
Dagenham?
been in the
Dagen Red?
they have not been in the Premier League.
What's that famous university in London? Uh,
I don't know, but you're going down the
oh,
wrong path.
I'm going down the wrong path. Okay.
It's a famous sporting event.
Wimbledon.
There you go. AFC Wimbledon. I think the
AFC
newest club out of all
Yeah,
of
Wimbledon.
these.
There we go.
Wow, I didn't expect you to Charleston. I was impressed
Hey,
there.
Oh yeah, I was getting Charlton as of
I forgot Fulham.
a year ago.
Fulham and
A year ago.
That's actually
You forgot
and
Fulham?
Brentford.
And Brentford.
And Brentford. Come on.
It.
Well,
Doesn't-
I was when you said Wigan, I was like, oh fuck, I forgot Wigan and wrote it down, and then I crossed it off because I was like, oh fuck, he tricked me.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I
it's not
actually
fucking Manchester.
because I was looking at the table earlier and I was like, oh, I looked at Wigan and I was like, oh, I need to remember that Wigan are in
I
London.
conflated Wigan and Watford. That's what I did. I was always intending to say Watford, but I said Wigan,
Sure.
and I wrote down Wigan. You can not believe me, but I described Watford to a T. Whatever, Brad. Okay, so really the big game this weekend, if we're getting back into it, is the City Arsenal game. Do you guys think City's clearly going to play a change side because they've got 27 players, so they're going to play players that haven't been playing in the league? We'll see Julian Alvarez starting and Phil Foden starting. But
Who was out of
Can you
shape? Yeah,
imagine that?
Foden was out of
Out of-
shape from
out of match fitness, he lacked match fitness.
Can you imagine that? Like, oh yeah, we're just gonna bring on Julian Alvarez and Phil Foden. Those are our FA Cup players.
Who's the new kid they just signed out of South America?
Oh, I don't know what his name is, but isn't he going back out on loan?
They just Peroni. Yeah, it's like Perone. It's like Perrone.
Thinking about the tires, man. Thinking about the F1.
No, that's Pirelli.
Yeah. So obviously, City's going to change their side. I expect to see a fair number of changes in the Arsenal team. Obviously, like Matt Turner is going to start, and like Rob Holding, we'll see Tierney come in for Zinchenko, and Mohamed El Neni will come in the midfield. Lukonga will come in the midfield. Fabio Vieira will come in. Hopefully, Emil Smith Rowe starts on the right, or on the left. But I could see Trossard starting on the left. The question is,
Yeah, just to get him some game
I was
time.
just starting to start up top.
you think Trossard should start as the false nine?
Trossard is a left wing, Brad.
He can play
Right.
He can play across.
He is the
He can play
direct.
across.
I'm not saying he's not versatile. I am saying he is a direct backup for Martinelli.
Yeah, true. That's
Okay, but here's the problem: is like who's in Kenya's backup?
that's the issue. Is we don't have.
Trossard can be the backup.
I mean-
yes, he can start. In the
Right.
I
back.
mean, the center in Kenya probably could play as again. You could see some funky things like because there's also like Reece Nelson's an option. Marquinhos, not the PSG Marquinhos, but the 18-year-old Marquinhos is an option. So
I have a mental block from Arsenal before the World Cup. Who were you playing at center forward before the
Gabriel
World Cup?
Jesus.
Oh, so he got
Yeah.
injured. Okay, so like that's why I was like mentally
Yeah.
blocked. All right, so you're so Nketiah was the
Yes.
backup. All right,
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. I mentally blocked that
That's
out of
fine.
my head because it's been so long
That'll
ago.
be an interesting.
But
Reece Nelson is hurt.
Oh, is he?
Can Trossard
Is he?
Trossard
I got an
truly
X on
play
his.
center
I mean,
forward?
In the style in which Arsenal play, the center forward doesn't necessarily need to be like a prima punta. They don't need to be a target man. So like Emil Smith Rowe could play there, Martinelli could play there, Trossard could probably play there. It's a matter of how hard they work.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say, wouldn't it benefit you more to have the creativity of Martinelli and center forward? If you had to have a throwaway center forward day, just put Martinelli there and
Maybe.
like just see what happens with that because he's probably gonna drop back like Kane does because of his work rate and like probably be like Kane kind of moves around the midfield and
It could be interesting.
and is still in the right spot at the right time. But Trossard's going to be a true left wing. He's still going to be cutting in and doing his thing. But Martinelli's smart enough Like that would be really interesting if they put Martinelli in the middle of that top three.
I mean, there has been long-standing talk in Arsenal circles that Arteta is eventually going to shift Martinelli from the left wing to a number 9. We'll see how well that, and if that actually does play out. He's just not bulky enough at this point in his life. He needs to put on like 20 pounds of muscle to even stand a chance against the center backs in the league.
Brad,
Go up.
even if João Felix puts on 20 pounds of muscle, he's still 170 pounds.
How many kilos?
That's what I want.
I'm so confused.
How many stone?
Yeah.
He's like 6 stone.
No, each stone is 14 pounds. So if he's 170 pounds, it's like it's like 12 stone.
I thought they were 20 pounds.
No, a stone is 14 pounds. See, you can convert to kilos, miles to kilometers. I do pounds to stones. That's my thing.
I can do kilometers to miles per hour. I can't do I can't do pounds to stones.
I don't know. I think I've said all this, that I think Arteta will change his side, and I also won't be surprised if we see the same starting 11 that we saw against United, against Tottenham, against City. I wouldn't be surprised.
That is daddy. That is daddy. So like,
I mean, Arteta doesn't ever want to lose, and he doesn't want to. He wants to win everything.
I feel like if this is a chess match, both of them tip their king. Like they're just like, whatever. Like let's just let the pawns play it out. Like I don't think there's like any like Arteta's not trying to outdo Pep. Pep's like, because they both know the same. Like they both know the same thing.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to learn anything in this match that you didn't already know about the team, and it's not like
they both know each
you're
other.
not going to tip your hand for the Premier League matches that are coming up. Like,
no.
So yeah, that
he was in his locker room for what, 4 or 5 years?
3.5.
It's your
3.5. Yeah, 4.
Yes,
4
Brad.
years.
This is the first time we've played City this year.
Wow. All right. I mean, you're 8 points up, so like you can still lose both and still be in for the title.
Arteta knows what he's doing. I don't think there's any chess match here. I think both of them put their backups in and then just let them roll. Like you know the game plan.
That's kind of how Pep's definitely going to do that. Because Pep doesn't care about the FA Cup. Pep cares.
Pep has no feelings.
Pep wants to win the Champions League. Pep wants to secondarily win the Premier League. Like it's like 1A and 1B for him. If he wins an FA Cup, great. If he wins a Carabao Cup, he doesn't care. His children did that.
Yeah.
Arsenal, at this point, Arsenal's goal is to qualify for the Champions League. That was their goal at the outset. So their goal was to qualify for the Champions League. For all intents and purposes, we've done that. Like, unless we have a major implosion. Okay, tell me that.
Arsenal meltdown here, Brad. Arsenal meltdown.
All right, if
that would have to be some crazy injuries. Like that's like Saka has to go out.
Yeah. So
because you still don't have a backup right wing.
Yeah, Marquinhos. We've got Reece Nelson, who when he's we don't have.
Okay, that you can
You can invert Trossard.
Well, I guess you don't know if you can trust, but also Trossard's right-footed on the left wing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, because Saka's left-footed. Do you have a left-footed wing at all?
Is it Martinelli left foot?
Predominant.
I don't know. I don't know people's feet. I don't know which foot dominates.
Son is predominantly left-footed, which I've found out later, and still plays on the left. He's just comfortable over there. Because he gets to put, I guess, because he gets to push the ball down the wing with his left, because he'll fake inside and then cut back out.
I mean, the question is, do you want to invert the winger so that they can then like curl it, or do you want them to be able to hit with power? Like that's generally the question, right? That you're asking yourself about them when you're deciding whether you want to put a left footer on the right or a right footer on the left. Like do you want them to invert and curl, or do you want them to just hit with power? I don't know. I kind of think both of your points that like this is put your backups out there and see what happens, and hopefully you win. Hopefully you don't have a replay. I think neither one of these teams wants a replay. They want to settle it in 90 minutes. And
every Premier League side does not want.
I think Arteta will be much more willing in the 60th minute to bring his starters on, bring Xhaka on, bring Partey on, bring Odegaard on, in order to win a game than Pep will. I don't think Pep brings De Bruyne on. I don't think Pep brings Haaland on. I don't see him doing that. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think you need Partey.
I don't think so either. But
I think you're better without. I think you're better with El Nini and Xhaka than you are with Partey and Xhaka.
like, are you talking about like holistically, like in
This is
perpetuity,
funny.
or just like?
Because like
Partey is he makes some nice passes here and there, and El Nini might be a bit of a defensive liability. But if Xhaka's there to cover it up, then you don't need Partey in the slightest. You can flip him for a cool 60 million, and he doesn't like it.
wow.
I'm not kidding. Like, this is solid advice for you. Like, you don't need Partey. He is a trash can.
So James overrates
Partey
Partey.
is
Sean underrates Partey.
Sean chronically underrates every Arsenal player, but Partey is
Sean chronically underrates every player that doesn't have a Tottenham jersey.
Partey
that's
has
true.
probably been the best center defensive midfielder in the league this season.
He got nutmegged by Rashford.
Give me a single other instance of him getting beat that bad.
Okay, let me remember every other game that's ever happened in the history of the Premier League. Like, I can't go back. Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to take notes every time I watch an Arsenal game? Like, he gets diced up all the time, but he makes some pretty passes every once in a while. He does. I'll give him that. He's a good passer.
He doesn't get diced up all the time. I don't know.
Yes, he does.
When did he? Okay, if he gets diced up all the time, then I need you to provide me with receipts.
Look.
You know what?
Like bump Arsenal, but this is a bad take.
I'm going to forgo watching Tottenham games to just watch Arsenal games, and I'm going to put down minute marks on when Partey gets diced up.
Do it.
And when I have a log this long,
you won't.
In the next week.
Next week.
By next, if Manchester City play half of their starters, I expect the log to be this long. The next time we see each other.
I don't blame you for not rating Partey because you don't watch a lot of Arsenal. In the same sense that I don't rate Højbjerg.
He has good distribution. I get it.
He's also defensively extremely stout. Like, I don't get this. I don't get this at all.
He is a defensive liability, and because he has Gabriel behind him, I rate Gabriel.
I might rate Saliba over Gabriel, but okay, Gabriel.
Okay, well, when you put both of them behind him, then he looks like a great defensive center mid. Or center
You're
defensive
not cleaning up much, bro. Like, this is a bad take. I'm sorry.
It's not a bad take. Partey, trash can.
All right. Do we want to get into any?
Hey,
there's also
it's worth 60 mil, but he's worth 60 mil though, James.
If you get 60 out of him, that's good. He's worth about 30. But if you get 60,
that's a £15 million profit over what we paid Atletico for him a couple years ago. Other really interesting game is Brighton Liverpool. They played a couple weeks ago. Brighton's, I think, scored 3 through Leandro Trossard.
Yeah,
Trossard had a hat trick against Liverpool, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, but Trossard isn't with Brighton anymore. He's at Arsenal. So what do we guys think? Liverpool are able to overcome what happened last couple weeks ago, I think?
Based on the game that I watched with Chelsea versus Liverpool, no. And I would say the same if you inserted Chelsea where Liverpool is and with Brighton versus Chelsea, my answer would be the same. Based on the last game that I watched, no.
I would just say I think we're due for a Núñez, like, maybe not breaking out, but like a Núñez goal or two.
Is this what I sounded like when Werner was on Chelsea?
Like hopeful that Núñez will score a goal.
Yeah.
No, like Werner's gonna get the goal, and then he never did.
Yeah. I think we're just due. I just personally feel like Núñez is better than his track record so far. He just looks like he is. I don't know. He's in the right spots. He's just not banging home the goals. And I don't know if he's just nervous,
not clinical,
or if he's actually bad. I don't know what it is yet.
I think I said these words. Well, I didn't say that part of the sentence, but I think I did say these words about Verner's. Like, he's in the right spots. He's making the runs. Just can't back the goal.
Yeah. No, we are running it back on
I think
Burns.
Werner's biggest issue was he couldn't stay on side. Like, he literally can.
That was another problem.
That's Nunez's problem too.
Nunez is offside.
Yeah, he can't stay onside either.
But I'm going to say it one last time before we write him off. This seems like a 1-2 goaler for Nunez.
I don't know. I'm not prepared personally to write Nunez off. I think he's got all the attributes. He just needs to improve his finishing.
He looks good on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's all we're gonna.
Are we cheering on Wrexham?
Yeah. Okay, Wrexham.
For the so we have no. I mean, we're cheering for Wrexham, and we're cheering for Blackburn. I think we can officially say that Blackburn Rovers will be the championship team that Red Card Radio is cheering for in the latter half of the season. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right.
And
so Blackburn over Birmingham and Wrexham over Sheffield United.
Has everyone here seen the Wrexham?
No, I haven't watched Welcome to Wrexham.
No, I've not. It's on my list.
Well, I fully understand about lists because I've got one very long as well.
The CFO and I take a long time to get through series together. So,
and I convinced our IT.
I decided she needs to be the
IT person to do F1 Drive to Survive.
She needs to be the CTO, the Chief Technology Officer.
Cool. The CTO.
She needs to be the CTO.
I've convinced the CTO to watch F1 Drive to Survive.
Chief Operating.
That's fine. COO.
That's fine.
COO.
Yeah.
That's her, Brittany. So me and Brittany fly through series. We watched The Wire in about a month and a half.
Oh.
Must be. I must. If I'm comparing our situations here, I think that there are tiny humans that affect the calculus.
Yes.
Not yet.
And professions on different schedules.
One day. One day I will have time.
Yeah, and your ability to binge watch television will decrease substantially.
Significantly.
All right. So we're rooting for Wrexham. Let's go Wrexham. Win the cup. Win the cup.
Win the whole thing.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
That would be amazing. I'm in for that.
I wonder if they're close to promotion.
They are. They are leading whatever league they are in to get promoted to League 2.
Good for them.
Yes, they're leading the 5th division.
Yes, whatever it is.
Good for them.
Because there's like 4 groups in the 5th division.
They're leading by 3 points, same as the team behind them.
Okay.
Or leading by 4 points, same as the team behind them. So they are clear.
Okay. Good for them. All right. Well, we'll have some results for you guys next week. Definitely make sure you check back in. If you didn't catch any of our Premier League coverage from earlier this week, we had news yesterday, and we had the review from last weekend's Premier League matches that came out on Wednesday. So definitely check those out if you haven't seen them yet. Drop a comment down below. Tell us which FA Cup matches you'll be watching. Hit us up on Twitter. That's at KSBradG. That's at Whiteheart_Sean. I'm at James Tiffany. Collectively, we can be reached at redcard_radio. But check back next week. We've got coverage of all this, and we're going to slide right back into the Premier League next week. So we will see you guys then. Have a good one.